Welcome back everyone! This video is an update on my favorite gene editing company, Beam Therapeutics. I will detail an interesting letter I received, as well as data presented at the 24th American Society of the Gene and Cell Therapy. What a mouthful! But before that, let's roll that intro. I've been teaching biology since 2004. On this channel, I hope to simplify and explain the science behind the companies that's driving the genomics revolution, one video at a time. A few weeks back, I received a letter from my medical insurance provider, AIA. And no, I'm not unhealthy or have any disease right now. There's an update in terms of coverage, which is a great surprise and a cause for celebration. Let me give you a sneak peek. AIA stated that there will be an increased coverage. Not only that, but they are covering cell, tissue, and gene therapy. And this coverage now is increased from 30,000 Singaporean dollars to 100,000. That is approximately 75,000 US dollars. This is great news on many levels. First, all the future gene editing treatment options can fall under this category. It is also a strong sign that the genomic revolution is right at our doorstep. Insurance coverage is very important because the first treatments are going to be patent protected and therefore expensive. If there's no coverage, then the common man will not be able to access these curative gene editing even if they need it. Third, medical insurance companies typically pick the cheapest treatment option available in order to increase their profit margin. They should have done risk assessment in order to determine what they should cover. So when they included the gene therapy option, this signals a positive cost and benefits ratio. That makes sense because traditionally, genetic diseases are treated by symptoms. This requires the close monitoring of patients that may involve blood tests, imaging, evaluation and care provided by the healthcare team, medicines, and even the allocation of bed space in hospitals where applicable. All this can be cut out since gene therapy is curative. Of course, it's going to be cheaper, and that's why the medical insurance companies are covering them. Imagine there's population coverage not just in Singapore, but for the rest of the world. This will create a surge of demands as soon as FDA and the equivalents grants the first approval for use. In order to determine the gene mutations and what gene modifications is best, sequencing is required, and short-read sequencing demand will skyrocket. I'm looking at ILMN fulfilling this need. Are you getting excited? And I'm not done getting excited about Beam Therapeutics yet. Beam Therapeutics have presented additional data at the 24th American Society of the Gene and Cell Therapy meeting. I'm happy once again to know that they are constantly innovating. This update seems to be pushing their technology to new frontiers and are slowly but surely leaving their competitors back in the dust. Okay, let's get down to the nitty-gritty details and translate the alien to English for you. First, there is reiteration that Beam 101 will be formally submitted for an IND application within this year. That is old news and should be followed shortly by Beam 102 and 201. I like the strategy of chunking them immediately one after another. I've described 101 and 102 in great detail in the past, and I will link my videos in the description below. I have yet to talk about 201. This will be for a future video. Next, they updated their work on liver diseases, both on the base editing as well as the delivery. On the delivery front, this involves their LNP formulation, and this is bearing fruits of joint labor together with Guide Therapeutics. Guide Therapeutics is a successful acquisition by Beam earlier this year. In terms of liver diseases, there are two that are targeted. First, alpha-1 antitrypsin deficiency, and second, glycogen storage disorder. I've yet to talk about these diseases and will cover this in a future video. For the liver diseases, they tested out the delivery of their CRISPR-Cas base editor using animals to gather the data. Of all the animals, they chose primates. This is of utmost importance since they are the closest in biological makeup to us humans, and the results will be the most relevant. The delivery was carried out by their special formulation of LNP to target liver cells. This improved the efficiency from 10 to 52%. Oh my, that is a 5-fold improvement. Not only that, At these higher levels, they tested for the liver-specific enzymes and they are not increased. The idea is that any stress will induce the liver cells to burst and die. And when they do, they release liver cell-specific enzymes, and measurements of these can indicate whether this delivery is causing stress. In the Beam Therapeutics example, they are not stress-inducing, which is a good sign. Next, they checked to see if the special LNP formulation could be stable without any degradation. At 8 weeks at -20 degrees Celsius, everything is still working fine. This is important since the LNP vaccine from Pfizer was to be kept at -80 degrees and rapidly degrades at higher temperatures. At around -20, Pfizer's LNPs only has a 2-week shelf life. Again, this is another win for Beam Therapeutics LNP formulations. Next, Beam Therapeutics have developed an assay to quickly confirm if the base editing have been successful using the technique LC-MS. I'll not talk about this technique, but we'll talk about the significance since that is important to you. The Beam Therapeutics gene editing platform is now truly reaching mass production capabilities. First, they have a library of base editors by modifying the active sites. I discussed this in detail in a previous video, which I will link in the description below. Next, they now have LC-MS to quickly confirm the modifications are indeed what they should be. Combined together, this facilitates large inputs and outputs. It is no longer about one disease at a time. It could be 10, 100, or even more. The power lies in a closed platform they built for themselves. I'm tipping my hats off to Dr. Giuseppe Chiaramella, who is the Chief Scientific Officer at Beam Therapeutics, and also to the rest of the scientific team as well. All of you have truly moved the needle. Keep it up. Next week, I will go through the news releases of ILMN, of which there are many, and also answer the question if options play are feasible in biotech companies. I've been experimenting with options in the past month and will show you my results and my thoughts about it. Stay tuned. Before I end, do remember to do your due diligence for the biotech stocks I cover. So till the next time, you've been awesome and I'm Benjamin Yang. See you in the next video.